All right, we're here at the Clash fast qualifier tonight. Dalton Faulkner, after last year's Clash, he wound up second, so this time he came back out and put a lap down that nobody could touch. The only car to get in the 19s tonight. Dalton, tell us a little bit about it. Tell us a little bit about what you think about the qualifying format, the way we do it here at the Clash. I think it's a little different than anywhere else. I don't know, there may be a few other places that do it this way. What do you think about that?
I enjoy it. It gives you it's a little bit of practice with qualifying going on at the same time. It makes it go by quick, man. You get plenty of laps, and you get a choice to run the track whenever you want. You know, when the track's got a little bit more moisture, it went a little bit drier tonight, and I think I hit it right on point what I was searching for tonight. We had a goal to get in the 19s. I don't remember the run last year, but we hit our goal this year. Happy with it.
Awesome. So the interesting part about it, though, Dalton set second fast time at one point, and he pulled off the track, losing that time. So if you pull off the track and you don't go to tech in the infield, you lose that time. So we all thought that was weird. We brought Memphis Villarreal, who was second at that point. So Dalton, you could see you were second fast on the scoreboard up there. So I'm assuming you went in because you weren't good with second. You wanted first. Tell us a little bit about that.
I knew the way the format was running, the track was going to get ran in more, and we had a pretty fast car there in that session, and I knew I could get a little bit better, so I forfeited it for the better track, and it paid off in our favor.
Yeah, I did. We were surprised and impressed. Good job. Some of them got a little faster as the night went on. Yours came right about the middle of the session, and you started a little bit late there. So good job. Fast qualifier tonight, making it through tech, doing a great job. Thanks for coming, Dalton Faulkner. Your fast time here at the Clash.
We welcome you to Texana Raceway Park. It is the 2021 Clash happening tonight, and you can catch it on Race On Texas. We have a pit full of cars. Best drivers from all across the state have converged tonight to Flag City, USA for the Clash, the second rendition of it. And if last year was any indication, you better be ready because tonight's going to be awesome. My name is Rodney Rodriguez. I will have the play-by-play for you here at the track as well as on Race on Texas on Speed Pass. Don't forget, $39.99. You can still be a part of that. Catch racing here tonight in Edna and all across the state. I'm joined by Owen Pittman. You hear his voice quite often across racetracks, but tonight, he's got the promoter hat on. Tonight he is really having to do a lot of things. Oh, and just talk about so many moving parts and pieces that you've had. This is night number 3, and here we go, the finale tonight.
Yeah, night number 3. I'm excited to get it done, to be honest with you, Rodney. Man, we got $35,000 plus on the line tonight, all coming out of our pockets to get this accomplished. So it's definitely tough. The cars have showed up, though. They're here to race. We got 51 factory stocks, 33 limited modifieds, 26 modifieds, and somewhere around 18 late models. So, man, we got the car count. We got a lot of racing to do, so we're going to be super busy here coming up.
No doubt. And I love the format. We were talking earlier, Owen. I like how you really trimmed it down a little bit. I mean, obviously you want everybody to get to race, but when you get into a show like this where you're going to have 50 factory stock showing up and, 20, 30 cars, in the modifieds and the limited modifieds, you really do. You have to trim the fat a little bit to make it conducive for the fan, whether they be watching or here at the racetrack, to be able to keep the attention span and enjoy the show.
Absolutely, so we're starting at 6:30, so we'll be live on Speed Pass here in just a little bit. But I tell you what, the goals will be done by 10:30, Rodney. You got a long drive home, so hey, we want to get this thing done by 10:30. Yeah, we got to run through six factory stock B mains tonight. We got to run through 3 limited modified B mains, 1 B main for the mods, not including heat races for both the mods and the super late models, a last chance qualifier for our factory stocks, and then 4 huge A mains. So we got a ton of racing, and I tell you what, it's going to be nonstop. We're going to click them off one after the other until we run through this whole thing. A lot of laps. We got a 40 lap factory stock A main. It'll be the first A main of the night. We're doing that because we want the track to be at its total best at that point in night for the factory stocks 5,000 to win. Our super late models will be running 25 laps. Our mods will be running 20, and our limiteds will be running 30. So we got a good mix of laps. Give everybody a chance, and watch this track change, Rodney. The track is going to go from one extreme to the next. We've been here Thursday with our factory stock qualifying. Great job on that, man. It was fun. Dalton Faulkner, awesome fast. You know that.
He's always quick. He's always quick.
Sets fast time. Jeff Hammett comes and sets down the second fast time. Really good stuff. Then we roll into night 2. We do all our heat races last night. We do the final race of the night's a dash, and guess who the top 2 out of the dash are? They were also the top 2 qualifiers, Dalton Faulkner and Jeff Hammett. Couldn't have scripted it, honestly, any better.
Right.
So then we got our limited mods, and we have Edward Oaks and Lawrence Maklicek already in the show. It's going to be a great night of racing, I tell you what.
So it tells you how big this show is. I saw you talking to Howard Willis and Lawrence Miklicek last night. How cool is it to have those 2 legends right here on your racetrack at the 2021 Clash? That right there, I mean, there's a lot of feathers in your cap, but to have those 2 guys here, that's just got to be massive for you.
Absolutely, man. I tell you what, when I saw Howard come over the hill the other day and I walk up there, first off, it's just cool that Howard knows who I am, so I get excited.
Right,
about that,
absolutely.
I work with Lawrence every week, so I'm good with Lawrence, but to see Howard walk up and say, hey, I wanted to shake my hand was like, man, you know, you get a little giddy. Texas legends, right? Both of them. So Howard had a pretty rough night last night. You saw in the interview, he didn't pass a single car. He won from the pole and won, and then he got dead last as he started dead last in a tough heat. Yeah. So excited to see how he does tonight. Now, I bet Texana Raceway can find a Texas legend provisional if we need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have to. You have to if that's going to be the case. So talk about the year for you. I mean, it's been a weather challenge for so many tracks, but after it's all said and done, you have a great way to cap off. It's been a little topsy-turvy. I also want to compliment you. This place looks amazing. About the excitement, I'm sure there's some apprehension in there for you tonight. Just everything that goes into making this Clash happen.
Well, this is probably, without doubt, the most stressful race of the year because of the amount of money on the line. When we get that much money on the line, I stress out. So for about the last couple of weeks, I've been stressed. Am I going to get all this right? Am I going to get all this done? And you want this show to go off so they remember it next year and they come back. This has to be my biggest race of the year, the most fun for the drivers. It has to be the best. So this one's tough. We haven't had our best year. As you explained, man, we had rainouts. It's been a tough year. Every track, man, I talked to KR up at RPM. I texted all the.
It's been across the state.
It's been a struggle. The pits have been down 50% from last year. The stands have been down. We're no different here. We're struggling. But I tell you what, we're putting it all together tonight to bring it out and close it out with one hell of a show.
Yeah. So for you, the factory stocks, I mean, what an outpouring. It's just been, we've watched the class grow tremendously. And here we go. You've got racing for $5,000. You've got guys and ladies from all side. Yeah. So just talk about the factories. What do we look for tonight, especially since they're going to have a really, really good racetrack when they come out to run 40 laps for $5,000?
Yeah, I'm hoping the racetrack comes just the way I plan it and just the way we worked really hard on it. I got to thank Lawrence West and Bob Trentman for all their work, and then I get here and get on it with them, and I think we're going to have a great track. We're doing it early because we want 2-3 grooves. Last night, by the end of the night, we still saw 3 grooves wide racing. It was fantastic. We're hoping we get the same thing tonight. If we don't spend too much time here doing this interview so I can get out there and stop them, we might get that. But anyway, we're hoping to have that 3-groove racetrack with a great factory stock. I tell you what, the factories have showed up and supported all season. What we do is at 24 cars, you make more than 24 cars at this track, we pay $1,000 to win. Only twice all year do we not pay $1,000. We had a couple of tough weeks. Yeah. But hey, for the rest of the year, they got paid $1,000 to win because they brought the car count. You bring me the cars, we'll pay you the money. That's what we're doing tonight. $5,000 to win, 51 showed up. We'll take it. We're going to go have some fun with it.
Got to ask you, before we get done here, the modifieds. It's always a struggle, but they've shown up here. I mean, they're in Edna, Texas tonight, and they're going to put on one fantastic racing program, I think.
Yeah, you know, the modifieds are an interesting deal. If you saw when it came out, I didn't have them on the schedule.
I know.
It was late model sport mods and factory stocks, nothing else. Well, I got a call from Greg Dinsmore. Greg can be very convincing.
Sure, sure.
And he said, hey, I'll put in a little cash on the purse. I'll help you out if you'll add us. And I said, you know what? Y'all are big supporters. I appreciate y'all. Y'all always support racing wherever you go. And you're asking, so I'm going to do it. So we added them. and then they showed up big. They showed up with 26 cars. Hell, you can't ask for no more than that. 1,000 to win. It's really not all that great a purse at 1,000 to win for the number of cars. A lot of respect for them guys for bringing them out.
Absolutely. And it is coming up 6:30 on Speed Pass right here on Race on Texas. Owen Pittman's got a lot to do tonight, so we're going to let him be on his way. So if you haven't done it already, Lone Star Speed Zone, subscribe to Speed Pass. $39.99. Take it into 2022. Racing all across the state of Texas and Louisiana, and who knows what else is coming. For Owen Pittman, my name is Rodney Rodriguez. Looking forward to the 2021 Clash right here at Edna. It is Texana Raceway Park.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land, the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
What a beautiful sight out on the racetrack. Clash, we welcome you to Texana Raceway Park, final event of 2021, and what a show we have in store. How about a round of applause right there for those cars carrying Old Glory out onto the racetrack as we get set to go. We invite you, if you have not already risen to your feet, to remove your cap for our opening prayer and invocation as we get set to go here into this amazing show tonight. We pray to you, Father God, thank you for this opportunity to once again join with our fellow friends, family members, to enjoy this sport that we love so much. We know that the challenges these days, they come a many. Each and every time that our feet hit the floor, there's always a brand new challenge. But we know that each and every day that passes, you are the Lord and Savior that are going to guide us through any challenge. Let us have our differences, yet let us love one another and guide us. Get us to where you want us to be. We ask, Father, that you pray that we pray to you throughout the evening for these race fans, for these race teams, these drivers, the cars and stars, for the safety of the track personnel and everyone involved. And Father God, we thank you for those that have put this fantastic event together and given us a place to race, to enjoy this passion that you have afforded us the opportunity to enjoy. And most of all, God, we ask at the end of the evening that you allow everyone here to reach their destination in safety and wake up to celebrate your day tomorrow. In your name we pray, amen. Everyone, we ask that you please stay on your feet for our national anthem. Always the number one song right there. It is the Star Spangled Banner. Race fans, it is the 2021 Clash. Are you guys ready to go racing? No. Come on. Are you guys ready to go racing? That's what I'm talking about. Here we go. We start off with the factory stocks. B mains coming in, the top three cars. Top three cars out of this B main will transfer into the big show. 2 cars are set. And the 4th and 5th cars will go to the last chance qualifier. So you want to be in the top 5 to continue to survive here tonight. Out onto the racetrack, here is your starting lineup for B main number 1. 10 laps. 10 laps for the B mains tonight. On the pole in the 8C, there he is right there. It is Texas Sweet Tea himself. It is Johnny Torres. Johnny Torres in the 8S starts on the front row. Next car in line in the 9C, it's Caitlin Leonard. Also in the field, the 21G, Steve Granz, the 911, Nathan Renfro, the number 02 of Shannon Marr, 32 of Jason Fitch, the 7N of Kevin Natek, as we show him one at the line this time by. Showing him one this time by. Top 3 cars into the show. 4th and 5th will go to the last chance qualifier. We'll start 24 cars racing for $5,000 here tonight at the 2021 Clash. And we only have 2 in right now. This is going to be fun right now. Lights are getting set to go out around the racetrack as Johnny Torres drags the field down into turn number 3. Caution lights are out. Here we go. We are in the start zone. Drop the hammer. Green flag. We're racing here at Texana. Off they go side by side down into corner number 1. Johnny Torres down on the bottom. Fitch on the top side trying to get the drive, and he does get the drive onto the back straightaway. Check out that Chevrolet Nova, but here comes Steve Granz. Granz working up on the top side. Torres hanging down on the bottom. Caitlin Leonard side by side right behind him. Leonard working down on the bottom. They wheel it out of turn number 4. Lap number 1 here tonight at the Clash. It is the 32 car. Up on the point, onto the back straightaway they go, side by side behind him. Look at that push up on the top side. Steve Granz into 21. Granz up to the top side by side, out of corner number 4. 32 hanging down on the bottom, up across the track he goes. Grants coming on the top side. Here comes Johnny Torres. Johnny Torres is right there. Jason Fitch hanging on, but he's got all kinds of company happening right there behind him. Side by side, Steve Grant's down on the bottom. Johnny Torres up on the top side. Behind them is Dinsmore out of the corner. Here they come, clicking off another lap, this time by 10 lap B main, 3 wide down into the corner. Johnny Torres goes up to the top side. Steve Grant's down to the bottom, almost a little bit of contact right there. The 32 of Fitch able to hold on. Back straightaway they go. Here's Torres, a little bit of a shot right there to the backside. Side by side, that race for second. Grant's down on the bottom. Johnny Torres up on the top side. Dinsmore lurking behind him. Caitlin Leonard rounding out the top 5. You want to be in the top 5 here in this race. Down into the corner they go. Fitch onto the back straightaway. Torres gets a push onto the back stretch. Here they go. Johnny Torres working up on the top side. Torres was in a half a car length right there. We are halfway home this time by. This is lap number 5. Fitch up on the top side. Steve Grant's down on the bottom. Johnny Torres all over the backside of the 32 car. Down into the corner they go. Now here's Dinsmore looking down on the bottom. Back straightaway they go. A little bit of a burp right there from the 21G. But he is back on the gas side by side. Fitch up on the top side. Steve Grant's side by side. Here they come around. 4 to go this time by as Steve Grant's tries to hold that point. Fitch up on the top side, followed by Johnny Torres, Cameron Dinsmore, Caitlin Leonard. Those top 3 cars are into the A. Here comes Leonard down to the bottom. A little bit of a hesitation right there. She'll back it off the gas. But now Steve Grant's 2 car lengths down into corner number 3. He'll dig it out of turn number 4. And Grant's will wheel it out of turn number 4. As he begins to open up the advantage right now, he leads by 3 car lengths down into the corner. Fitch down at the bottom of the racetrack. Johnny Torres going to try the crossover move down to the bottom. Torres at the quarter panel. Side by side down into the corner they go. Torres backs it off just a little bit that time by. They make their way around once again. And it is still Steve Grant's into 21. 3 wide once again. Momentarily out of the corner. Fitch able to hold on. Torres up to the top. Dinsmore lifting up that left front. Torres up to the top of the racetrack. Here's Dinsmore down to the bottom. Caitlin Leonard down to the bottom as well. They'll try to make the move there on Johnny Torres. White flag in the air. One more time around for the 21G of Steve Grant's. A little bit of contact back there. Caitlin Leonard in the 9C with the 8S of Johnny Torres. Down to the inside, Dinsmore. Those 2 cars are into the A main event as they run right now. Fitch hanging on. Dinsmore goes up to the top of the racetrack. Checkered flag in the air right there. It is Steve Grant's side-by-side battle. It'll be the 32 car of Fitch along with Dinsmore. Those cars have transferred for the A main event. Johnny Torres and Caitlin Leonard will go to the last chance qualifier. So 1, 2, 3 into the A main, 4 and 5, which is Torres and Leonard. They will go to the last chance qualifier coming up later tonight. That'll be a 12-lap race, and we will put 2 cars in from that last chance qualifier. B main number 2 rolls out onto the racetrack. Here starting lineup on the outside of row number 1. It's Alan Torres in the 94. X-row down on the up on the outside. Jason Downey in the 44D. Rusty Head in the 55R. Winner the last time out at I-37 Speedway. Daniel Preston, car number 6 to 133 of Megan Dotson. And Johnny Westfall in car number 9. 10-lap B main, top 3 cars into the show. 4th and 5th will go to the LCQ just as they did in heat race number 1. So we get set to roll. 10 laps of action here in the B main as they double stack down into the corner. And we got 10 laps of racing to go right here in this B main. We are ready to roll. Green flag in the air. We are racing at Texana Raceway Park. Torres to the top side, big hole shot move, 54 car working down on the bottom, but Torres digs it off of the corner and onto the back straightaway they go. That'll drop the 54 back. Here is the 44 of Downey hanging on. Rusty Head right behind him. Rusty Head trying to go to the bottom, the 6-inch. Daniel Preston right behind him. Here they come out of the corner. Torres, 1 car length, down into turn number 1 as the field makes their way down. Here is Downey. Downey trying to make a move down on the bottom. He slips back, a little bit of contact right there with Rusty Head. Now onto the back straightaway they go. 94 car up at the front. It is Torres. Now they go single file. Megan Dodson down to the bottom. That is a hot spot on the racetrack. Dodson trying to make the move right there on Daniel Preston. Up at the front of the pack continues to be Alan Torres. Way up to the top goes Downey. That's going to allow Rusty Head, Daniel Preston, and maybe Megan Dodson. Downey with a good push. He'll go back down to the inside of Daniel Preston, but it's still Alan Torres up at the front of the pack as we work towards halfway here in factory stock B main number 2. 154 going down to the bottom. Here we go, side by side onto the back straightaway, but it's Torres up on the top side. That will hold the point. He'll take a half a car length down into the corner. Rusty Head now sitting in the third spot. Top 3 cars into the A main, but it's a dogfight up at the front of the pack between the 94 and the 154 going down to the bottom of the racetrack, almost side by side out of the corner. Torres working up on the top side. He will take the field down into turn number 3. Rusty Head, followed by the 44 of Downey and Preston. Those are the 5 cars that continue to race on at this point. Halfway home that time by. 5 down, 5 to go. 6 B mains now side by side off of turn number 2. But it's Torres working up on the top side, and Alan Torres will continue to hold on to the point. Torres slams it down into the corner. Here they race down the front. Now onto the front straightaway. Here they come, Rye down on the bottom. They continue to battle for that top spot. Alan Torres right there. Brian Rye will follow in right behind him. Now onto the back straightaway they go. Downey trying to get on the heels of the 55 car of Rusty Head. 4-car breakaway. Daniel Pressing sitting in the 5th spot. He would transfer into the LCQ as they go this time by. 2 to go right here for your race leader, Alan Torres. Brian Rye in the 154. Trying to go down to the bottom of the racetrack. Onto the back straightaway they go. Rye trying to look down to the bottom, but here comes Rusty Head. Rusty Head will now shift it down to the bottom of the racetrack. This time by, white flag in the air. Torres on the top side, Rye down on the bottom. Side by side down the front straightaway here at Texana Raceway Park. Into corner number 1. It's Torres on the top side. Brian Rye down on the bottom. Rusty Head followed by the 44 car of Jason Downey. Back straightaway they go, and this battle continues. Rye will try to stick the nose in one more time. Who gets a drive off of turn number 4? Checkered flag in the air at the line. It is Alan Torres, Brian Rye, Rusty Head. Those 3 will go to the A main. Jason Downey and Daniel Preston into the 12 lap last chance qualifier. So 3 more into the race. 3 more into that 40 lap main event. But it'll be Jason Downey and Daniel Preston that will have to race their way in coming up in the last chance qualifier. B main number 3 here for the factory stocks making their way out. Your starting lineup on the point. Car number 24, it's Donald Kane on the outside. Car number 30, it's Memphis Villarreal. Row 2 on the inside, the 149 is Stephen Danielson on the outside. Don Cron in the 17K. Tony Blankenship down on the inside of row number 3. Adam Perks on the outside. Grant Whitley and Triton Temple round out the pack as we will race 10 more laps. Top 3 into the big show. 4th and 5th into the last chance qualifier here for the 2021 Clash. Down into the corner they go, of course. Dalton Faulkner and Jeff Hammett already punching tickets into the show. Those 2 are solid. We are setting the balance of the field. We'll take 2 from the last chance qualifier. There will be possibly 2 provisionals happening here tonight. So the lights are off around the racetrack. Donald Kane into the corner. Green and going. We're racing here at TRP. Donald Kane, nice hole shot move as he'll take the field down into the corner. Villarreal up on the top side. Let's watch Danielson in the 149. They stack him up behind him. Triton Temple right there going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Contact. Don Cron, Tony Blankenship. Nice move there by the 12 car of Adam Perks as he's able to go down to the bottom of the racetrack. Out of turn number 4. Side by side down into turn number 1. Villarreal up on the top side. Donald Kane, wheel to wheel off of turn number 2. Look at that drive off of the corner. Villarreal will take it, lead momentarily down into the corner. Here comes the 24 car. Donald Kane trying to find a push. They go side by side out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Villarreal free and clear for the moment. Up at the front of the pack on lap number 2. Donald Kane's going to try to cross it down to the bottom. Hanging there is the 149 Stephen Danielson. He's in the show. Triton Temple hanging on behind him. Caution flag on the racetrack. Caution flag on the racetrack as Tony Blankenship loses the grip over in turn number 4. So a nice move right there by Memphis Villarreal. As he goes up to the top shelf, he works there. He's able to make the pass on Kane. And he leads the field after 2 laps of 10. Here in factory stock B main number 2. 149 car, Danielson in the show as they run right now. Triton Temple and Perks. Those would be your last chance qualifier cars at the moment. Lights are out around the racetrack. We Texas 2-step restart. Here they come. Villarreal on the gas. Green flag. Villarreal shot out of a cannon, half a car length down into turn number 1. Donald Kane up on the top side. Danielson down on the bottom. Triton Temple taking the long way around. And here they go onto the back straightaway. That is your battle for the final qualifying spot into the A main here out of B main number 3 here in the factory stocks. Villarreal, now Triton Temple into the show as he runs in the 3rd spot. 1, 2, 3 right there. Villarreal, Donald Kane, and Triton Temple. Danielson up to the top of the racetrack. Trouble for Perks as he goes to the top of the racetrack. And now the 179 of Grant Whitney runs up into the 5th spot. Villarreal will lead lap number 4 into corner number 1. Donald Kane sitting right behind him. Watching those 2 cars right there. They are running the same groove as they make their way onto the back straightaway. It is Villarreal able to hold on. He'll carry a 1 car length advantage down into the corner. Here comes Kane working down to the bottom, middle of the racetrack, up to the top. Villarreal, 1.5 car lengths into turn number 1. Up to the top goes Donald Kane in the 24. Temple, Blankenship, and the 179. Oh, a little bit of contact right there, but able to hold on is Grant Whitney as he holds on to that 5th spot. Out of corner number 4 continues to be Villarreal in the 30, followed by Kane. Triton Temple, 1, 2, 3 there in the show. Sitting behind him, Stephen Danielson, just minding his P's and Q's right there as he sits about a car length behind that 3rd place car. Now they make their way onto the back straightaway. This time by, this will be lap number 7. 3 more trips around Texana Raceway Park here in factory stock B main number 3. Running 6 of these tonight. 6 B mains. And we take 3 out of each one of them. Onto the back straightaway they go now. Villarreal begins to open up the advantage, running up at the middle of the racetrack. He'll diamond it down to the bottom, leads that car over to the right side, and takes the field down the straightaway once again as the battle looks to have subsided a little bit right there as the 30 car of Villarreal begins to stretch it out. Could be the battle on the racetrack if Triton Temple can make a run right there at Donald Kane as they make their way around. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go for car number 30. Kane hanging on to the 2nd spot. Triton Temple, they are sitting pretty as they run right now. Actually, all 5 cars that will live to survive are sitting in a pretty good spot as Perks has dropped substantially back. But now trouble there for Whitney. Checkered flag in the air. Give it to Memphis Villarreal. Villarreal, Kane, and Triton Temple will go to the A main. Stephen Danielson in the 149 and Grant Whitney in the 179 will go into the last chance qualifier. Tremendous run right there for Memphis Villarreal behind the wheel of car number 30 as he wins B main number 3 here for the factory stocks. Getting set to go. 4th B main making their way out onto the racetrack. Same thing. We'll punch 3 tickets and we'll send 2 to the last chance qualifier. Here is your starting lineup on the point. It will be Craig Pursley. Pursley up on the point. Cameron Stoney down on the inside. Dylan Gaither on the outside. Jerry Evan inside of row number 3. Hector Aguirre on the outside. followed by John Armandia. And rounding out the pack, it will be Jason Turnmeyer. 10 laps, 3 cars to the big show. Here they come. Down into turn number 3, lights are out around the speedway. We rock and roll with the factory stocks. $5,000 on the line tonight. Green flag. Nice jump out of the box. Craig Persley. Persley down to the bottom of the racetrack. Starry trying to work up on the top side. Right behind them is Downey. A little bit of bumper tag right there. That continues. Side by side, the battle down into the corner. Starry down on the bottom. A little bit of brake smoke coming out of the back of Persley, hanging out down on the bottom of the racetrack. Up over the tire goes a 44, Thomas Downey. Up to the top side of him goes the 11 of Dylan Gaither. But up at the front of the pack, that is a hot spot. A little bit of bumper tag right there. Cameron Starry hanging on. Greg Persley runs right behind him, followed by Downey, the 11 of Gaither, and right behind them is Hector Aguirre in the 113, making their way out of the corner once again. Cameron Starry up at the front of the pack. Greg Persley trying to hang on behind him. Let's see if Persley's going to get a drive off of the corner. Too much down on the bottom. Great grip right there on the 741 as Starry exits right down at the bottom of the racetrack. He'll take it up to the middle of the speedway and pace the field around one more time. Persley hanging on to the second spot, followed by Downey, Gaither, and the 113 of Hector Aguirre. Lurking behind him is the 17 of Jerry Evans. So Evans going to have to try to get up to the back of the 113 of Aguirre if he wants to get himself into the last chance qualifier. 3-car breakaway up at the front of the pack, led by the 741 of Cameron Starry as he continues to pace this 4th B main here for the factory stocks. Here's Persley taking a peek down on the bottom. They are working this racetrack tonight. We'll continue to watch the racetrack tonight, see how the racetrack comes in. Remember, this will be the first main event tonight. Will be the factory stock A main. 741 of Cameron Starry hanging on. 3-car breakaway once again as a 44 car of Downey. Oh, trying to take a peek down to the bottom. Here comes Downey down to the bottom. Back straightaway they go side by side. Downey down on the bottom. Persley up on the top side. They got to be smart right here as we race this one out. Cameron Starry down the front straightaway. That is lap number 6. Persley able to hang on to the second spot. Thomas Downey in the 44. Back straightaway they get set to go once again. These 3 cars are locked into the show as they run 1, 2, 3. Dylan Gaither followed by Hector Aguirre. That is your top 5. Lap number 7 in the books this time by. Cameron Starry up on the top side. Way up to the top goes Downey. Persley continuing to work down in that bottom groove. Thought he might try to make a run right there, but he slips back. It's 1.5 car lengths down into the corner. Now opening up the bottom just a little bit. Here's Downey going down to the bottom, side by side, momentarily through the corner. 2 to go this time by. Cameron Starry will trail, break it down into the corner. Downey trying to go up to the top side. These 3 cars sitting nice and pretty. Here's Downey. Downey's going to go down to the bottom of the racetrack, but he'll get back in line once again behind Persley as they make their way around. White flag in the air one more time for Cameron Starry here in B main number 4. Craig Persley in the 3F. Thomas Downey. Those 3 cars are locked in, but they've got to make it one more time around. Here's Thomas Downey taking a peek down on the inside once again. Persley will hang up on the top side. Downey will sit behind him. Checkered flag in the air this time by, oh, here we go, little contact. Checkered flag in the air. It's Cameron Starry, Craig Persley, followed by Thomas Downey. Those 3 cars into the big show. Dylan Gaither and Hector Aguirre. Those 2 cars, the 4th and 5th cars, will go into the last chance qualifier. That'll be coming up, but 3 more in. And that race won by young Cameron Starry. Here comes B main number 5 for the factory stocks. Rolling out onto the racetrack, your starting lineup as we get set to go. We continue racing along here in B main number 5. Here we go. We are set and ready to roll down into the corner. They go. Green flag in the air. We are racing once again. Up on the top side, it is Josh Sewell. Sewell is there. His helm's down on the bottom. Onto the back straightaway they go. Herring runs right behind him. Good push out of corner number 2. As Sewell will lead by 3 car lengths down into the corner. But the action is happening right behind him as they go single file. Oh, little trouble. Sewell all the way to the top of the racetrack. He will hang on. Side-by-side battle happening right behind him. My goodness, close quarters right there for Josh Sewell in the 38, but he's able to hold on. Trailing right behind him is at 174 up to the top of the racetrack. Here comes Jared Herring. Another lap in the books right there, as it is Helms hanging on. Helms wants to go to that spot. Here comes Jared Herring up on the top side. Herring now to the back bumper. Jesse Sandoval runs right behind him, but they are all chasing Joshua Sewell as they wheel their way around. Helms hanging on to that second spot. They all go to the top of the racetrack. As I said, we're going to watch that groove change throughout the night. Everybody working up on the top side right now. Here's Helms taking a peek down on the bottom of the racetrack. Here's Sewell. Sewell trying to work on the top side. Helms, they're going to race side by side out of turn 4. 3 wide momentarily. And the 1H of Herring will jump in right behind him. The battle is side by side. Helms down on the bottom. Sewell up on the top side. Next time by, we will be halfway home. Halfway home in factory stock B main number 5. Sewell up on the top side. Helms trying to work down at the bottom of the racetrack. There are the cross flags. Sewell up at the top of the racetrack. He runs right in the middle of the speedway. Helms hanging on to the second spot. Right behind him is Herring. The battle happening right behind them. Sandoval and Barry as they try to race their way into the last chance qualifier. This will be lap number 6. 6 laps in the books. Side by side. Helms goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Sewell working up on the top side. Herring is behind him. They're going to go wheel to wheel. Down the back straightaway. Here we go. They will race it down into turn number 3. Sewell up on the top side. Helms down on the bottom. They sling it down into the corner. They'll make their way out of corner number 4. Helms creeps up just a little bit. Sewell working on the top side. Dead heat at the finish line that time by. As Sewell trying to hang on to that top spot. It'll be 2 sticks in the air next time. We will have 2 laps to go for your race leader, which right now is Helms. Sewell working on the top side. Herring sitting right behind him. Sewell going to try to cross it down to the bottom of the racetrack. Bottom. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Herring down on the bottom. On Sewell. Look at that move by Jared Herring. Herring will hang back, but now he's got company on the backside as Johnny Johnson right behind him. Johnny Johnson, he's not out of this one yet. White flag in the air one more time around. Helms hanging on, followed by Sewell and Herring. Johnny Johnson sitting right behind him. Jesse Sandoval, he would get into the last chance qualifier running in that 5th spot. Now it's going to be 3 cars racing it in. Here's Helms, Sewell, and Herring out of corner number 4. It's a dash to the start-finish line. Give it to Helms. Sewell and Herring, they will go into the A main. Johnny Johnson, along with Jesse Sandoval, will go into the last chance qualifier. So you see these guys right here. It's all about position right here. You see the top 3 guys. The higher you finish in this, the better your starting position. These guys racing like it's $5,000 on the line right now. Here comes our final factory stock B main rolling out onto the racetrack. And here is your starting lineup on the point. In car number 41 is Dylan Alasco. Alasco in the 41. On the outside, Nathan Rauchi. Next row down on the inside, John Drexler. Flanking him on the outside, GW Hessong. Hessong in the 17. Nicholas Morgan, here we go. They make their way around. Green flag. Down into turn number 1, it is Rauchi. But he's got company. Alasco, almost some contact right there. Watch that 17 car. GW Hessong onto the back straightaway they go. Hessong settles into the 3rd spot. Right behind him is John Drexler, followed by Morgan as they make their way around. This is lap number 1. Nathan Rauchi in car number 25. of corner number 2 onto the back straightaway. Rauchi in car number 2. And GW Hessong, those top 3 cars. Our end of the show as they run right now, but we are way early here. Number 2. Side-by-side battle. Hessong going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Alasko working up on the top side. Let's see if Dylan Alasko can hang on there. That's close quarters right there. Hessong, he is a wizard at this racetrack. Hessong will settle back in line. And the top 3 make their way out of corner number 4, led by Nathan Rauchi. Rauchi 1.5 car lengths into turn number 1 as he continues to hang on. GW Hessong trying to turn up the wick right there as he runs in the 3rd spot. You got a 1 car length of separation in between the top 3 cars as they race down into turn number 1. Out of corner number 4, they'll zoom it around one more time, continuing to be led by the 25 car. The battle pretty steady right behind them as well as the 11D and the 36P sitting in a good spot as they run right now to try to make their way into the last chance qualifier. But the battle now beginning to happen for the 2nd spot. Dylan Alasko in the 41. GW Hessong right there. We are halfway home. 5 down, 5 to go here in factory stock B main number 6. As we set the field for that big 40-lap main event coming up here tonight. Hessong trying to take a peek down on the bottom. Cannot make the move right there. He'll get in line once again behind the 41 of Alasko. It's a 1 car length advantage for Nathan Rauchi. He has led from the drop of the green flag and now extends it up to about 2 car lengths down into corner number 1. Hessong following in the tracks right there of the 41 car of Dylan Alasko. Back straight away they go. Hessong up to the back bumper. He'll back it off. He stabs the brake. Now he's going to point it down to the bottom of the racetrack. This is lap number 7. 3 to go this time by as Rauchi continues to hold on. 24 car or 25 car steady as a rock as he takes it down to the bottom of the racetrack. Good exit speed as he gets on the gas. That car is staying nice and steady. Onto the back straightaway they go. Now down into the corner. Here comes Hessong taking a peek down on the bottom. 2 sticks in the air 2 more times around. Hessong running about a half a car length behind. Let's see if he has anything here for Alasko. Almost up to the quarter panel. Back straightaway they go. Alasko back on the gas. And he will carry that 2nd spot down into corner number 3. 2.5 car lengths up at the front of the pack for Rauchi. White flag in the air this time by car number 25. Continuing to hold on. Trying to go flag to flag here in B main number 6. Alasko in the 41. The 17 car of Hessong. The 11D and the 36P trying to transfer into the last chance qualifier. Here's Hessong going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Alasko's going to hang on the top side. Checkered flag in the air. It is Nathan Rauchi, Dylan Alasko, and GW Hessong. Those 3 cars will go into the A main. The 11D and the 36P. John Drexler and Michael Pesic will make their way into the last chance qualifier. So there you go. Now the focus will go for all of those cars making their way into the LCQ. You'll have to finish in the top 2 to punch a ticket into the big show. Here come your limited modified. Modifieds on the racetrack as we get set to go. Modified heat race number 1, starting lineup on the point. 741, it's Cameron Starry on the outside, Greg Dinsmore, Nick Cellulaire, David Good Jr., Brian Makachek, Rob Slott, Chad Rockefeller, and Robert Lease. We are ready to roll. Here they come. 8-lap heat race. Green flag. Off they go down into the corner. Nice start right there. Look at that battle happening right behind him. Starry trying to work down to the bottom of the racetrack. They'll go down into the corner. They brake check it up just a little bit. 45 car working up on the top side. That's Makachek making his way around. He goes way up to the top. Able to get it back in line. But onto the back straightaway they go. The battle happening right behind him. Here is Starry. Starry trying to go down to the bottom of the racetrack right there. Greg Dinsmore up on the top side. Dinsmore hanging on the top. Starry right there. Right behind him is David Good. Rob Slott. Slott going down to the bottom of the racetrack. They make their way onto the back straightaway. This battle continuing to wage on right here. Leader brings the field around. Side-by-side battle right there. David Good on the bottom side. Starry up on the top side. Here they come, making their way out of the corner. Cody Leonard is your leader as he goes down the front straightaway. Leonard up on the top side. Greg Dinsmore rides in the second spot. David Good in the 7. Rob Slot right there onto the back straightaway. That battle intensifying right there for the third spot. This time, a little bit of contact over on the back straightaway. 77 car, Robert Lease into the wall. Little bit of debris over on the backside. Cody Leonard will make his way down into turn number 3. Here's Dinsmore, David Good, and Rob Slot. Everything good there on the 77 car. White flag in the air for Cody Leonard. Leonard hanging on. Here's Dinsmore, Good, and Rob Slot. That is your top 4 as they make their way down into the corner. Onto the back straightaway they go. They are all in hot pursuit of car number 12. They will not catch him. Checkered flag in the air. Cody Leonard is your winner in car number 12. Wheeling it out of turn number 4. Greg Dinsmore, David Good, and Rob Slot. Great battle happening right there. You had Dinsmore, the 7 car, David Good Jr., and the 49er, Rob Slot, as they battle behind the leader, but it is Cody Leonard that takes off and goes wire to wire and wins that one in dominating fashion in heat race. Is that it? Out onto the racetrack, here we go, starting lineup. Modified heat race number 2, it is Marcus Miklicek on the point on the outside. Stevie Whitaker next row down on the inside. Dalton Knox, Jared Maupin on the outside. Cody Duke in the 26D, and Anthony Gordon in the 22 as we get ready to rock and roll. Modified heat race number 2, they'll take their way down into turn number 3. And we are ready to roll. Here we go, green flag in the air. Miklicek down at the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, here comes Whitaker off to turn number 2. Now onto the back straightaway they go. Whitaker will settle back into the third spot here momentarily. Almost a little bit of contact right there. Miklicek hanging on. He will lead. Dalton Knox sitting in the second spot. Here comes Whitaker down to the bottom. Whitaker going to try to work down at the bottom of the racetrack. No room right there. Dalton Knox up on the top side will hang on, but it continues to be Marcus Miklicek at the front of the racetrack. Here comes Whitaker down to the bottom. He will slide it up, slide job up to the second spot. Stevie Whitaker making the pass here on Dalton. Back straightaway they go. Jared Maupin now running in the 4th spot. 3 cars down into the corner. Here's Whitaker going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Miklicek up on the top side. The BD1 working on the top side. The 89 car is Stevie Whitaker. Whitaker going down to the bottom. They'll go side by side. Back straightaway. Whitaker on the bottom. Miklicek up on the top side. This time by, it'll be the halfway point. Whitaker trying to make it stick. Miklicek coming back up on the top side. Miklicek will dive into turn number 1. Whitaker hanging on for the second spot, followed by Dalton Knox. Jared Maupin running right behind him. Here is Miklicek down into the corner. Stevie Whitaker down on the bottom, side by side out of turn number 4. Miklicek slides it across. Here's Whitaker trying to slide job. He will go to the front of the pack. Little bit of contact right there, but Stevie Whitaker makes a pass. Mikulacek relegated back to second. Dalton Knox riding in the third spot. 2 sticks in the air, 2 more times around for Stevie Whitaker. The BD1 riding in the second spot, followed by Dalton Knox, Jared Maupin, and Brandon Welker. That is how they run. White flag in the air this time by for Stevie Whitaker in car number 89, trying to pick up a heat race win here in the IMCA Modified here at the 2021 Clash. Commanding lead as they run right now. Back straightaway they go. Whitaker down into turn number 3. Hanging on in the second spot is Mikulacek. Dalton Knox right behind him. Checkered flag, give it to Stevie Whitaker in car number 89, followed by the BD1, the bad one of Marcus Mikulacek and Dalton Knox. And we'll round out your top 3 in IMCA Modified Heat Race number 1 or number 2. How about that pass there by Whitaker? Able to get by Mikulacek, and he will win the second heat race here for the Modifieds. 26 Modifieds in the pits here tonight here at the 2021 Clash. We get set. Next heat race rolling out onto the racetrack here. Starting lineup, car number 5. It's DJ Schratt on the outside. Car number 48R, Raymond McSpadden. The 14T of Jeff Ho down on the inside of row number 2. Garrett Gregory on the outside. Craig Oakes on the inside of row number 3. Chris Carroll on the outside. Foster Ellison and Adrian Awald. That is your starting lineup for your third IMCA Modified Heat Race here tonight at Texana Raceway Park, the 2021 Clash. They make their way around. Rolled up green flag at the start-finish line. We're showing them one as they make their way by. Field tightly packed 2 by 2 as they make their way around. We double stack them, and we are getting set for 8 laps of action right here for your Modifieds. Setting the point, it is Schratt up on the front. Up on the point in car number 5 as they make their way down into the corner. McSpadden up on the top side. 8 laps of action coming up right here for your IMCA Modifieds as they slowly creep their way around. Now they turn it up. Green flag. We're racing here at Texana Raceway Park. McSpadden, nice jump up on the top side, but here comes a 77 car. Garrett Gregory down to the bottom. To the back straightaway they go. It's McSpadden in the 48R, followed by the 77 car, Garrett Gregory. They wheel to wheel down into corner number 3, now out of turn number 4. All kinds of action happening right behind them, but the action is up at the front of the pack. McSpadden trying to hang on. Here's Garrett Gregory. Gregory's going to go down to the bottom. Back straightaway they go. Opens up the door. Gregory almost a little bit of contact right there. McSpadden closes the door, coming down into turn number 3. McSpadden goes up to the top of the racetrack. Here comes Gregory working down at the bottom. Wheel to wheel down into turn number 1. Garrett Gregory leads that lap in car number 77. McSpadden will try to cross it down to the bottom as they wait to make their way onto the back straightaway. Behind them, it's Craig Oakes, DJ Schratt, and Jeff Ho. That is how they run, rounding out the top 5. Making his way around once again. Gregory in car number 77. McSpadden hanging on to that second spot. Craig Oakes right behind him. Now Gregory in the 77 car trying to stretch out the advantage. He leads by 10 car lengths down into corner number 3. Spin in turn number 2. 17 car goes around of Awald, but he's good to go, rolling once again. Halfway home that time by. Halfway home for your race leader, Garrett Gregory. A little bit of trouble right there as well for the 82C car, Chris Carroll, but he's able to get right in and rolling once again. Here comes the 77 car, Garrett Gregory, putting on a nice clinic here in this IMCA Modified Heat Race number 3 as he leads over Raymond McSpadden and the 91 car, Craig Oakes. The 14 car in hot pursuit right there, Jeff Ho, as he tries to run right behind him, but he's got a lot of ground to make up as they make their way down once again. 2 sticks in the air, 2 more laps to go for Garrett Gregory, car number 17. Battle beginning to shape up right there for second. McSpadden holding on to that spot. Here's Craig Oakes going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Craig Oakes trying to make a move right there, but he'll settle back in behind him. White flag in the air one more time around. Garrett Gregory slinging it out of corner number 2. It's Raymond McSpadden in the 48R. Here's Craig Oakes. Oakes going down to the bottom of the racetrack as you check in on Speed Pass, making his way out of corner number 4. It is Garrett Gregory in car number 77. Battle for second, not over yet. Oh, man, look at that. McSpadden able to hold on as he will win over Craig Oakes and Jeff Ho, rounding out your top 4. Some kind of battle happening right there with the 48R of McSpadden and the 91 of Craig Oakes as they race it out to the final corner. But it is the 77 car, Garrett Gregory. He checks out from the pack and takes off and wins IMCA Modified Heat Race number 3. All right, getting you set here at the Clash. Coming up next, it will be your super late models as they make their way out. They are 21 strong in the pits here tonight. Here they come, making their way out onto the racetrack for heat race number 1. Here's how we will go to the stripe. On the pole, car number 260 out of Baytown. It's Eric Thorne on the outside out of Farmersville. In car number 33, it's Bryce Jackson. Row 2 on the inside out of Sinton. The 48 of Cody Leonard on the outside out of Victoria. It's Rory Jordan. Row 3 on the inside out of Robstown. You just saw him out there. Stevie Whitaker, car number 89 on the outside in the 10-4. It is Brandon Brzezowski. Rounding out the pack out of Kerrville in the 53X. Set to go, Matt Fox. Super late model heat race number 1. 3 heat races tonight for the late models. As they ride in formation, we get set to go. They double stack them and we get set. On the point, actually Cody Leonard. Cody Leonard up at the front of the pack. Here comes Eric Thorne in the 260. As he is set to go now, wheeling up on the outside of him is Bryce Jackson, so now our lineup is correct. Here we go, late models onto the back straightaway as we continue to roll. Lights are out around the racetrack, 7 cars on the racetrack. Here they come, the always popular, high-powered, super late models making their way here to Texana Raceway Park. Green flag! Great jump for Eric Thorne in the 260. Thorne right there, the battle behind him. Cody Leonard down on the inside. We got a spinner over in turn number 1. The field making their way down into turn number 3. I don't think they're going to be able to make their way around. Caution flag on the racetrack. Caution flag on the racetrack as the 53 car of Matt Fox spins at turn number 1. So the yellow flag waves. We'll re-rack, restack, try it one more time and have a complete restart here of late model heat race number 1. Nice jump right there for Eric Thorne in the 260 as he darts at the drop of the green flag and goes to the front of the pack. Looks like we are lined up once again. This should be a complete restart. Now flanking up on the outside here is Bryce Jackson into 33. Everybody back in line. We are set to go as we show them one this time by. Showing them one right now as they roll in front of a packed grandstand here tonight at Texana Raceway Park. A breezy evening here tonight in Edna. A little bit of chill in the air, however, not too bad. That's something that we're going to watch as the racetrack will continue to work throughout the evening. We're going to get into multiple grooves, and remember, factory stocks will be the first feature race as we get set to go. Lights are out around the racetrack. Here they come around. It's Thorne on the point. Green flag! Big hole shot once again. Eric Thorne from the inside. However, up on the bottom side, here comes Cody Leonard. Back straight away they go. There's 4 car lengths down into the corner for Eric Thorne in the 260. Trying to work down at the bottom of the racetrack. Look at that push, making his way up to the 3rd spot. It is the 7X of Rory Jordan out of Victoria. Jordan working down there, a little bit of a stumble right there. That's going to allow Stevie Whitaker to go to the top side. Whitaker will take that 3rd podium spot. Still up at the front of the pack. It's Thorne in the 260, followed by the 48 of Cody Leonard. Whitaker holding on to the 3rd spot, followed by Jordan, and rounding out the top 5 is Brandon Brzezowski. Onto the back straightaway they go, and now the battle really starting to shape up at the front of the pack. Hanging on right there is Eric Thorne, but here comes the 48 of Cody Leonard, and now Stevie Whitaker making his way into this one as well. That is lap number 3. 3 laps complete here in Super Late Model Heat Race number 1. Down into turn number 1. Thorne trying to hang on. Here comes Leonard in the 48. Stevie Whitaker trailing behind him. We are halfway home. Halfway home that time by 4 down, 4 to go here in your Super Late Model first heat race. Down to the bottom of the racetrack. Cody Leonard trying to dig down on the bottom. As up the track goes Thorne. Thorne will now work up at the top side. Leonard will follow him. Stevie Whitaker right there behind him. Cody Leonard up to the back bumper. Cody Leonard going to try to dive it down to the inside as Thorne back on the gas. And they race down the back straightaway. Half a car length in between them. And we got a fire in turn number 4. That car was ablaze, but it looks like that fire has gone out. Track safety crew quickly making their way over. I believe that was the 53 car of Matt Fox. He had a little bit of trouble there on the start. He was blazing there coming out of corner number 4, comes to a stop. But quickly the track safety crew making their way out. Just great work right there by the Texana Raceway Park safety crew as they quickly make their way out there to make sure everything is good on the bottom side of that race car. Probably had some oil getting on the headers right there, and that thing will immediately blaze when it hits those hot headers. And it looks like all is well over at corner number 4. So we come to a stop. Immediate red flag right there. Great job by all the other cars. Race control on the horn with them. Tell them, hammer it down, boys. Whoa, it way down. And it is Eric Thorne in the 260.